Is that a form of hatred, do you think?
Of course it is, and we're not talking enough about political hatred in this country. We're not talking enough about conservative activists being attacked, like myself. We had a student whose dorm was set on fire for being a member of the Turning Point chapter, and all we preach is for free markets and capitalism as a means to lift the most people out of poverty. That is my belief, and of course, my main thesis is that black people do not have to be Democrats, and we are not owned by the left, and I understand that causes some people trouble.
You're about to watch one of the most powerful moments Candace Owens has ever delivered. Truth has a way of hurting feelings, and at this point, Ilhan Omar might want to take notes. This wasn't a hearing, this was a setup. And Candace Owens walked in, flipped the table with a smile, and dared them to keep going. Democrats tried to box her in with labels, race bait, and lazy gotcha questions. She treated it like a warm-up lap. Calm, confident, loaded with facts. She exposed the left's biggest fear in real time. A black conservative who isn't scared, isn't apologizing, and isn't playing their game. If watching Democrats panic brings you joy, hit like, subscribe, and buckle up. Let's watch the full clip before I give you the full breakdown.
Oh my goodness. Candace Owens, Director of Communications at the Conservative. Nobody else is described as progressive or liberal, but you are described as a conservative advocacy group, Turning Point USA, and a conservative commentator and political activist known for her criticism of Black Lives Matter and the Democrat Party. I think you've caused my friends on the left to go to their safe spaces, and I'd love to explore with you a little bit of the reason for that. Do you consider yourself a conservative?
I am a conservative, yes.
Okay. Are you pro-life?
I am pro-life.
Okay. Does that trigger people when you see them, that they know that you're pro-life?
It makes them very upset, and Democrats hate me.
Do you own a gun?
Pardon?
Do you own a gun?
No, sir.
When next time you come to Colorado, we'll take you shooting. Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
Are you proud of your family?
I'm very proud of my family.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Do you hate Americans with black skin color?
Absolutely not. I actually love Americans with black skin color so much that I'm willing to fall on the sword 1,000 times for them to wake up and realize that we are being lied to, abused, and used by the Democrats.
How about Americans with white skin color? Do you hate them?
I do not, and that's a problem for people on the left.
Do you hate Hispanics?
I do not.
Do you hate Asians?
I do not.
Do you hate lesbians or gays or anybody from the LGBTQ community?
Nope, I've got all of that in my family.
I'm baffled because in the chairman's opening statement, he said that you openly associate with purveyors of hate.
Yes, purveyors of hate, by his definition, is anybody that supports the president. I support the president because he's done a tremendous job in helping the black community, despite all of the rhetoric from the media and leftists, which do not want him to be successful.
Tell me a little bit about how the president has helped the black community, if you would, please.
Well, he's lowered the black unemployment rate. It's the lowest it's ever been in the history. He's getting us off of our feet. We see, I believe the last number I checked was 3.5 million people are off of food stamps, something that the Black Caucus sat down and didn't applaud. Neither did any of the Democrats applaud, because they want a system where blacks are dependent on the government. They are the people that put in place the policies that broke down the black family, and the biggest problem that's facing our community is father absence. In every room that I've been in with the president, he talks about real issues, and he doesn't pander to us. He doesn't do Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's southern drawl accent and speaking to us like we're slaves. He asks us important questions, and the most important question he could have asked was, Black America, what do you have to lose? Because we were already losing under Democrat leadership.
Do you believe that you openly associate with purveyors of hate?
I absolutely do not. I have no tolerance for hate whatsoever.
Do you believe that college campuses should be open discussions, or there should be open discussions on college campuses for various issues?
I absolutely do. You know, I do a campus tour tonight. I'm flying up to the University of Connecticut to continue that, and we are being met with aggressive leftist groups. 3 Antifa chapters have declared they're going to try to shut it down, and we face this violence every day on the left, and nobody ever wants to talk about it.
And I guess what I was going to ask you, you went on to explain it before I got a chance to, but have you ever been disinvited from speech opportunities at college campuses because of your conservative views?
All the time.
Is that a form of hatred, do you think?
Of course it is, and we're not talking enough about political hatred in this country. We're not talking enough about conservative activists being attacked, like myself. We had a student whose dorm was set on fire for being a member of the Turning Point chapter, and all we preach is for free markets and capitalism as a means to lift the most people out of poverty. That is my belief, and of course, my main thesis is that black people do not have to be be Democrats, and we are not owned by the left. And I understand that causes some people trouble.
So, as a conservative, you've attended many conservative events and visited with many conservatives. And I am not denying for a moment that there are white supremacists and we should condemn white supremacists, that there are Nazis and we should condemn Nazis, that there are hateful groups all across the political spectrum and we should condemn those. But in your interactions with conservatives, have you seen hateful speech, bigotry, race among the conservatives that you've associated with?
I speak in front of conservatives probably 3 times a week. I jump on a stage and I say everything pro-black, and they are so supportive and they applaud. All they want is for black Americans to realize that they are Americans first and foremost. Conservatives are patriots. The president is a patriot, and I'm a patriot, and there is no skin color in patriotism.
Candace Owens absolutely owned that room, and the reason it rattled Democrats so badly is simple. She shattered their narrative without raising her voice. They wanted outrage. They wanted a soundbite. They wanted her angry. Instead, she gave them truth, and they had no defense for it. Every question they asked was meant to paint her as hateful, and every answer exposed who the real bigots were. Look at the absurdity of it. They asked her if she hates black people, white people, Hispanics, Asians, gays, like they were reading from a checklist of manufactured outrage. And she calmly said no to all of it because, unlike the left, she doesn't see Americans as voting blocs or skin tones. That alone broke their script. The left cannot function when someone refuses to play the victim role they assigned. Then came the real knockout punch. Facts about President Trump and Black America. Lower unemployment, millions off food stamps, economic mobility. And what did Democrats do when those numbers came up? They sat there stone-faced, allergic to applause, because progress doesn't count if a Republican delivered it. That's not compassion, that's political selfishness. Candace went even further and said what Democrats hate hearing most. Their policies helped break down the black family. Father absence didn't fall from the sky. It came from decades of dependency-driven policy, and the left knows it. That's why they attack messengers instead of addressing the message. And when she called out the fake pandering, the accents, the talking down, the racial condescension, you could feel the air leave the room. And let's talk about free speech. College campuses supposedly worship diversity. Yet the moment a conservative black woman shows up, Antifa wants to shut it down. Dorms get burned. Students get threatened. And the same Democrats who cry about tolerance suddenly go silent. Candace exposed that too, right to their faces. Her closing line said it all. Conservatives are patriots, the president is a patriot, and there is no skin color in patriotism. That wasn't just a statement, it was a mirror, and Democrats didn't like what they saw. Candace Owens didn't just survive that hearing. She dominated it, and the so-called tolerant left proved, once again, that they can't tolerate the truth.